White belts, you guys have all learned ippon Seoi Nage. Morote Seoi Nage is just 2 arms. So remember with your basic step with ippon Seoi Nage, right? We're still here, right foot forward, left foot backward, lifting up, coming across, coming in. Same idea with Morote Seoi Nage, except now my right arm is going to stay connected. Morote means 2, so it's 2 arms together. So I come in, I lift up, my right arm is going to come under, and I come through for the throw. So the difference is we're going to keep this right hand on the lapel, and we're going to come across. So important things, just like our regular ippon Seoi Nage, we want to come in and lift them up. So if you guys notice, one thing I'm doing, I'm kind of bending down a little bit before I come in. What that's doing is weighting him. We talked about this last week with the kochigari. We got the weight on him, and we're trying to get him to bounce up. So as I come in, bounce, he comes up. That's my timing for entering. That's the kazushi I'm looking for to get him up. So I come down, as he comes up, I come in. Now, one of the things I want you guys to avoid is a lot of people will see it and they'll try to take this elbow and drive this elbow up to get the lift. That's a lot of strain on your shoulder and it's not as strong. I want you to come in and keep your elbow on your side. So as I come through, my hand's right here, locked to my hip. So I come in and I'm right here. It's not driving up, I'm bending my legs to get the lift. Left hand's got to come up and pull. The other thing I want you all to avoid is a lot of people come in and they try to pull into their belly. Does everybody see I'm pulling into my belly? That's not going to help you throw. Left hand, you want to pull that left hand as you come through, pulling down towards the mat, away from your body. So as I come in, I'm pulling out and away and bringing him over. So what I want you to do is grab a partner, spread out. You don't have to go fast at first. I want you to just practice coming from here, getting that little bounce, lifting up, pivoting and coming in. Try to stay on your toes. Questions? All right, just practice fitting in for now. Go ahead. It's done like this. The problem with that is if you train that, when you go to use it full speed in a tournament, you're probably only going to turn to about here, and then you end up not getting your throw and you keep wondering why. So extra rotation is important. So if you watch me, I'm going to rotate to about 270 degrees. My feet will go from here to pointing in this direction back that way. So as I come in, I'm over here. I'm trying to get that extra rotation so when I actually end up using this, I come up, I get to here. I get to about here. I'm not going to make it that full rotation. So think about the rotation. Second thing, bending your knees. For this is just like a seesaw. If you're up too high, if I'm up here trying to pick Christian up, I'm not going to get him to go. I want to get nice and low so he kind of just falls right over the top. Next important thing, spacing. You don't want to come in and try to lift him up from here. This is really hard to do. That's why we use this left hand for the pull. So you take a short step, you keep distance between them. There's a lot of space between him and me. I can pull him over to me, and he comes over really, really easily. But if I'm too close to him, he's right here, and I try to come here, then I'm working all this energy trying to lift him, and it's a lot more difficult. Last thing, everybody, if you can't see my wrist, move so you can see my wrist. So there are different ways to do this. The way I was taught for strength with your wrist is to not let your hand come back and do this with your wrist. You don't want to break your wrist. What you want to do is try to keep your wrist nice and firm. So as you come in, my wrist stays tight, and I wrap that gi all the way around my hand. So his lapel is completely wrapped around my hand. So when I come in, I have all of this power to bring him over with. You'll notice it when you go back to your partners. If you break your wrist versus keeping it tight and rotating through, how much more power you get driving up. So try both of them when you go back with your partners. Any questions on that? So I'm going to give you a couple more minutes to work on that, and then we're going to move on. All right? Basic one, you'll go 4 times, and then you'll throw. If you're working on the drop, then you're going to go 4 times, come in, come out, come in, come out, and throw on the 5th one. So again, that drop, you want to get all the way underneath, and you're going to big pull, and you've got to shoot back up. You don't want to stay down, you want to push off your legs. So that's the only drawback to dropping to your knees. If you drop to your knees, you don't get that momentum off your toes to push back up. So you want to try to stay on your toes, get underneath, and go. Questions? All right, drop ranks. Try that one. You don't have to go as fast as I did. You guys can slow it down. It can be just nice and light from here. Okay. on your knees, keep pulling forward, and stand back up. Okay? Lower range, just try the other one. 4 fit-ins and go. All right? You don't want to be out like this. You lose a lot of power spreading your legs out like this. You want to keep your feet together. So as you come through, you want to keep your knees here. Knees should be parallel. You should be on your toes, ready to drive out and finish the throw. The other thing, a lot of you are doing it already, but for a couple of you that are missing it, with any of these, remember, same thing with our ippon seoi nage, you want to rotate your shoulders to finish this throw. So don't get to here and then be like, okay, that's not going to work. You want to rotate your shoulders all the way through. So most of you are there, just a couple people are missing it. Come in, rotate your shoulders all the way around. Okay? So what we're going to do now, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. We're going to do, everybody knows ippon seoi nage. We're now going to try ippon seoi nage the opposite direction after entering with Morote once. So you're going to come in from Morote, right? You get to here. Come back out. You're going to take that same step. So this is where it gets tricky. Everybody watch my right foot. We're still going to take that same step for the Morote. Now I'm going to come back and go the opposite way and ippon seoi nage to this side. So I come one, pivot to here. So a little slower. Right foot steps across. My left hand comes up, or my right hand comes up. And I'm pivoting on this foot. This foot's not coming back off the ground. I pivot, and I'm here for the throw. So you're gonna go one, get them to react to this as they react to this, pivot around, finish the throw. Questions? Question? No? Anybody have questions? Want to see it slower? One more time? Yes, one more time. One more time? So the idea that I want you guys to work on is we're trying to get them to react to Morote Seoi Nage. So there's a couple of ways to avoid getting thrown on Seoi Nage, right? One of them is to sit back down. And we can go over attacks for that later. Another one is they'll try to spin past you and get over to there. So this is where you're hoping that's what's happening. So as you come in and they move that way, you're gonna pivot back on this foot and catch it here. So really slowly, I'm stepping here, I'm hoping he moves that way. If he moves just a little bit, I can pivot on that foot, come back to the front. Okay? Any other questions? All right, so I want you guys to try that with your partner. You're gonna go once Morote, come back out, once pivot. Do about 5 of those and then throw, okay? All right, go ahead. My foot's here, I can now pivot this way and finish the throw. So I'm gonna come in, one, pivot, throw. So really slowly, I'm coming in, I'm doing my koji, I'm getting him to step back and react, and then I'm snapping up. I don't want him running away from me. If I come here and let him just go, no hand action, I won't be able to come back in for the throw. So I step in, I catch him. So do you guys all see that? My hands pop up. As I pop up, my left leg, my right leg is gonna be used to spin on. And I come to here, and I finish the throw. Questions on that? Yes?
So our feet are supposed to cross? For those
Yeah, so you're gonna do it. It's a big rotation, right? So as you come in, 1, 2.
Like crossing the side.
They don't have to cross all the way over, right? I'm not finishing like this. I'm getting back to here, but I am coming in with a big rotation. I gotta go a long way. And it's fast when you use it. It's not like Christian and I are just gonna be standing around. When you're actually playing, you're trying to get them to move. Come back under. Okay, so you do have a lot more time than it looks like here. It seems really, really slow and you're not gonna make it. But when it's dynamic, they'll move around with you. Other questions? All right, so just give that a try for a couple minutes, then we'll get a water, and we'll move on to the rest of the night. So what I want you all to start thinking about is how to utilize this throw more dynamically, and less being, okay, this is the only way I can use it, very rigid, I have only one way to do it. I want you to start thinking how I can use it moving around, moving in a circle. We talked about a circle on Friday night, moving your opponent around you. Think about how your ashiwaza can be applied to that, to move them around you and get you in there and stuff. The other point I want everybody to take away is we're trying to speed these throws up. So we did that step across with the ippon seoi nage. So a lot of people go to that weak side ippon seoi nage and they'll go 1, 2, 3, just like you learned the strong side. I want you guys to start thinking about picking that speed up. So that's why we're doing 1 pivot. It's much, much faster. So those are the 3 points I want everybody to take away from tonight. Any questions on that? Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna get a water. When we come back, I'm gonna give you guys about 7 minutes to do just uchikomi with a partner. It can be standing, it can be newaza, whatever you want. After that, we're gonna get 20 minutes of randori in, okay? All right, go get water.